Hi guys, so I'm going to read Marvel Mystery Comics number 4, the Namor story this time. So, Prince Namor the Submariner by Bill Everett. Namor, after having saved a British freighter from destruction by an enemy bomber and submarine, stands on an island beach with Betty Dean, a New York City policewoman, who has asked him for help. Now to go on with our story. I wish you could stay with us a while before you return home to your home in the Antarctic, Namor. You could do a lot to help stop this terrible war. The current submarine warfare has practically banished all sea transportation, and cargoes have to be shipped via giant air clippers. You could do something about that. This means, then, that the war will really begin in earnest. The long-dreaded aerial warfare is actually to commence now. That means only one thing, that I shall have to go back to my people at the South Pole and organize my army of submariners. I'll fix this war. I'll be on my way now. This looks like a destroyer coming in to rescue the crew of the freighter. They'll probably see that you have safely returned to New York. At any rate, I can't delay no longer. Goodbye and good luck. I'll be seeing you. I can organize our armed forces within a week and clean up these warring nations. I shan't play any favorites, but I'll destroy anyone who interferes with the transportation of food or medicinal supply, no matter for whom they're intended. After swimming many miles at lightning speed, Namor arrives at an outpost station of his beautiful subsea city. Hello, Petrod, or Petrod. Prince Namor, welcome home. A few miles further, and Namor comes to the Palace of Ice, an anchored iceberg whose topmost peak is the central fortress. Passing through the huge gates, he walks along glacier-like corridors of ice to the council chamber, where sits the Emperor and the Court of Three in conference. Prince Namor, thou hast returned safely. Welcome. Holy One, I have returned from an adventurous trip. Many things have I to tell you. I think this is Namor's grandfather, I'm pretty sure. I had an experience, O Holy One, with a young policewoman of New York City that showed me the error of my ways. We are wrong in our attitude towards the white race, but I wish to ask a favor of you, Emperor. 3 nations are at war in the north. I should like to assemble our forces to act as privateers. We can stop this war. Namor, it's against the rules of the Empire, but I trust your judgment implicitly. You have permission of the court. I endow you with the rank of Commander-in-Chief of the Army and Navy. Do as you will. And so, in one short week, Namor has organized the small but powerful armed forces of the subsea empire. Hundreds of super-aerial submarines equipped with deadly steam guns are assembled for battle. They are propelled by artificial steam generated by compressed air charging a mixture of alcohol and water, and are capable of uncanny speed. Meanwhile, over the North Atlantic, a transport plane convoyed by 2 light pursuit ships makes its way to the undisclosed location. And not many miles away, an empty airplane carrier picks up the sound of the approaching transport. The commander orders out a torpedo plane and 2 light bombers. With roaring motors, the ship leaves the deck of the airplane carrier, headed for the unsuspecting convoy. Inside the leading bomber, the flight commander radios orders to the other 2 planes. Proceed at full speed, northwest by west, numbers 83C and 104C. Attack the convoy with machine guns. I'll take care of the transport with a magnetic torpedo bomb. The attack begins, and the torpedo bomb bursts above the transport, ripping the wings asunder. The transport and convoy down, the attack is over, and the enemy heads back to its base ship. The shattered clipper and the pursuit ships plunge into the sea. But suddenly, from the depths of the sea comes a fleet of strange aerial submarines. So I should have read that guy's voice in a German accent, I'm sorry. But Namor's forces striking their first blow. In his flagship, the enemy commander is astounded, puzzled as to the origin of the weird craft. He gives the call to battle stations via radio to the rest of the fleets. All hands to your stations! The aerial sub-attack, great spurts of boiling steam, enveloping the giant bombers. A torpedo bomber escapes the scalding vapor and lets loose one of its missiles of death, which misses the mark, as the metal of Namor's ships is of a repellent quality. Screams of agony issue from the bombers as they are trapped into the steam clouds and forced into the sea. What fools these mortals be, warring among each other to satisfy their arrogant egos of a few stupid governments. I'll show them what war is like, war to preserve the safety and happiness of the civilian population. His first job done, Namor and his flagship chuckles maliciously at his own victory. Telepathically, Namor orders his fleet to return to the scene of the battle between the bombers and the transport. With the speed of light, the aerial subs skid down on the water's surface before the transport clipper has had time to sink. Wreckage of the two pursuit ships make approach to the clipper hazardous, but soon an aerial sub is lashed to its floating fuselage. Rapidly, the cargo is transferred as the clipper begins to nose over. Holy whales, she's beginning to go. Quickly, get under her with number 6. Bolster her up before she dives. Namor's number 6 aerial sub suddenly does a headstand and plunges beneath the ocean to straighten out quickly and slip beneath the sinking transport, forcing her back to a floating position. And as another aerial sub stands ready to assist, a silent menace appears on the scene. A deadly submarine of one of the belligerent nation's naval forces. Great sharks, a submarine! Quickly, men, prepare for attack, en masse! Floating underwater, while supervising his salvage work, Namor's eyes are quick to perceive the coming danger. Instantly, in Namor's command, the squadron of submariners swarm down on the submarine. It's a lot of alliteration. Ripping hatches open, destroying deck conning tower, periscope, diving planes, and wireless. Good, the filthy swine will die, trapped in their own infernal machine. War such as theirs is a horrible thing. They deserve to die. A moment later, the ill-fated submarine keels over and rolls into the mud. Daka, prepare, finish unloading as quickly as possible, and prepare to take flight. Rising to the surface amid air bubbles from the sunken sub, Namor hails his admiral. I want you to take this cargo to its marked destination and leave it unnoticed in some accessible place where the proper authorities will find it. I want to take a look through this plane before we leave. Good Lord, what's this? A current newspaper, American newspaper. Let's read the headlines. Neutral ship held by enemy. American freighter's cargo seizes contraband. Fear for crew of 38. Entering the clipper, Namor stops in the pilot's cockpit and his eyes caught by a newspaper of the car at the chart table. Yeah, so again, they have the captions at the bottom. My men cannot live out of water for more than 5 hours at a time, so I'll have to go on this expedition alone. I can live in the air for an indefinite time. I got to find that ship. It may take some time, but my conscience gives me no choice. I'll go now." Dispatching the crew of his flagship to another aerial submarine, Namor, at the controls, speeds off across the ocean. The newspaper hinted that the ship was in the North Sea, near Denmark. Risking his very life, he searches every mile of the coast, diving to scan the identity of each ship he passes. For 2 weeks this goes on, and finally, on a bright moonlit night, he slips into a secluded bay to rest for the night, only to find it already occupied by a dark and silent freighter guarded by 2 sinister submarines. Aha! Looks like my search was not in vain. Might be a good idea to board her while it is yet dark, so there will be less chance of my being discovered. The ship is reputedly manned by a prize crew, and I want to investigate a bit before I do anything rash. They may scuttle the ship if they think anything is wrong. Slipping out of his uniform, and clad only in woolen trunks, I'm dumbass, sorry. So as minimize the noise he makes, travels through the water. Namor leaves his submerged vessel and slips through the water to the freighter's stern. A guard patrols the submarine's deck. As the guard disappears behind the conning tower of the sub on the port side, Namor leaps with a faint splash to the freighter. So far, so good. Now to find some nautical clothing. In case I'm spotted, they may think me a member of the crew. Oh ho, what luck. A whole line full of lingerie. What a break. Sweater and pants, that's all I need. A quick trip through the freighter and I'll find out what sort of a crew I have to deal with. A reconnaissance trip, sort of. Oh, what's that? Or who's that? Good Lord, Tim, what are we gonna do? We're subjected to this stupid military rule and can't even talk as we wish. Oh, Tim, I wish we were home in Boston. Take it easy, Barbara. Oh, there's a woman. Okay. So take it easy, Barbara. They might hear us. There's nothing we can do, so we might as well be resigned to it. Ducking behind a ventilator, Namor listens to the approaching voices. Listen, Barbara, your dad is the skipper of this tub, but what can he do? We're completely under the control of this darned prize crew. We're prisoners. I know, Tim, but we're supposed to be married in March, and now we'll never make it. Silently, Namor steps behind the startled couple. Don't be alarmed, friends. I've just heard you talk about your plight, and want to help you and the rest of the crew. Say, who are you? And what the devil do you mean by scaring the wits out of us? Haven't you any consideration for people who want to be left alone? Look, you little fools. I want to help you. I'll be your friend, if you'll let me. I have a plan in mind, whereby you can all escape from this confounded mess. All I need is your cooperation. You're crazy. We're too well guarded. And even if we did get away from the danger of mines in the North Sea is too great, and even by chance we did get through the mines, it would only be a matter of time before we'd be recaptured. It's no use, chum. Namor pleads with the cynical Americans. There's a lot of truth in that. Yet, I don't know what it is about you Americans that makes you so skeptical, but I assure you that if you'll only give me a chance, I'll show you the way out. Wait a minute, Tim. Let's listen to what he has to suggest, or no matter how crazy it may seem. We gotta try something. Listen to him, Tim. Alright, let's hear it. Alright, here it is. I want the American crew to swim, one by one, over the submarine on the starboard side and silence the watchmen on deck. Then board the submarine en masse and overpower the crew. Return here silently, and then... Namor finishes telling them of his plan, and although the mate is still skeptical, all right, it's preposterous, but we'll try it. So 1/2 hour later, the Jacob's ladder is lowered and a silent group of seamen drop into the water. Swimming to the submarine, a quick thud and the watchman crumples to the deck. Then fast action. The Americans make short work of their captors, surprising them in close quarters inside the sub. "Nara, come quickly. I need your help. Follow the course of my thought, and should have no trouble finding me." Underwater, Namor sends an urgent telepathic message to his admiral, Naka, as he snaps the freighter's anchor chain. "What's that? We're drifting, and the starboard sub is underway. Ahoy the bridge! What's up?" A subtle change in scenery as the ship slowly commences to drift, bringing the watchman in the crow's nest to his feet. Bewildered excitement bubbles, oddly muffled, on the freighter as the prize crew watches the rapidly sinking submarine. A few seconds later, they are flabbergasted as the submerged U-boat sends a torpedo humming through the sea to its sister ship, shattering the silent night with a terrifying roar. The blast rocks the very landscape as the sea subbursts, tying up the U-boat's crew and locking them in the submarine. After disabling it, the Americans return to their ship, only to be met at the deck rail by the enraged prize crew. The battle begins, and is over in a flash. "No, stop! We surrender! Don't take this ship to sea! She'll be killed by a mine and we will be killed! Or hit by a mine and we will be killed!" Rapidly, Namor's aerial subs approach, dodging in and out of the maze, floating mines at a mile-a-minute pace. Namor transmits another message. "Naka, take your men out of the ships and order them to pull the mines down and out of our way as we go along. Don't destroy them. The noise might attract attention." Under the water, Naka's men obey and the mines are pulled below level of the ship's bottom. "Good Lord, sir, this is uncanny. What's happening? What became of the 2 submarines? Why did my men rebel against the prize crew? And where are we going?" "Never mind the questions. Just keep this ship on course due west. Keep her on the regular charted course to Scotland, and I'll take care of the rest." Abruptly, Namor leaves the captain and dives below the bridge, to the black ocean below. What will happen now? Will the ship reach peaceful waters, or will she be captured again? What will be your fate in the hands of Namor the Submariner? Watch for your next issue, the March issue of Marvel Comics. So, Bill Everett. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This story was even more wordy than the last Human Torch story we did. It's even more wordy. There's a lot of describing stuff in that. But anyway, if you guys would like this video or comment or subscribe, that'd be appreciated. If you guys want me to read a specific comic, just let me know in the comments down below. And I'll see you guys later.